Welcome everyone to today's session. It's good to have you. So today there is a question from Peter. So he asks, I have been brought up in a family where love, warmth and kindness were not present. During my previous and current relationships, I have a lot of trouble with intimacy. This surfaces most clearly when I watch a romantic movie. When a scene appears where there is warmth, kindness or love present, I am looking for distraction, such as my phone, looking away, thoughts, beer, or just fast forward the scene. How can I get more comfortable with intimacy? Okay. So, trouble with intimacy. Well, as I said before, that it might be a good training to watch a lot of romantic movies in that case. Movies in which this kind of issue appears predominantly. When you watch that movie, then there's this kind of resistance to what you see, maybe. There's a romantic scene and then the mind reacts to it in a certain way. So the scene is entering through our eyes, it comes into the mind, and then the mind builds a sort of resistance. And then we watch that scene through this kind of resistance. So it appears as if the scene itself in the movie was something that is highly unpleasant, that we kind of need to avoid. But in reality, it is just coming from the resistance that we are watching it with or through. Well, let's say, for example, the old kind of example, if my glasses were yellow and I would look at you through yellow glasses, then you would certainly appear as if you were yellow-skinned. Right? I'm surrounded by a yellow world with yellow people. But it's not really that people are yellow and that it's like this, it's because of my glasses. So when something appears as unpleasant, then also it is because we are watching it through a certain filter or a certain attitude, namely the attitude of resistance. This is simply a habit pattern that has been built over a long time, that just runs, it does its thing. And but it can stay alive if we are unconscious of it. We are not noticing it. We're actually not aware of it. So it can stay kind of running in the background and doing its thing. So as long as we're identified with that pattern, we're fueling it. We keep keeping it alive, so to say. But as soon as you bring in a little bit more awareness, and you notice, there it is. There is the resistance. And then you have a few options of what to do with it. For example, you could receive it with kindness, an attitude of friendliness. You could talk with it if you want to. You say, hey, resistance, welcome. Takes away, basically it's the opposite of resisting. You're not resisting resistance. And that is something you can only train efficiently here in your case, for Peter, when watching romantic movies, because there's a very particular form of resistance, isn't it? I don't really care where it comes from, why this arises. Does it come from your childhood? Do we have to dig deep and find it out? And then once you've found it out, right, you still have to solve the problem. You still have to kind of face it and learn to work with it. And like any kind of problem that we have, like let's say you have anger issues, or you are more of a depressed type of personality, or you like to worry about the future, or whatever it is that particularly bothers you, it is a good idea to kind of work with it specifically over a certain amount of time. Like let's say you take 3 months where you are working on that particular topic. And what helps with that is keeping a diary, for example, so that you write down each day how it went. Or each time you watch a movie, you see how it goes, right? So you're already starting to watch a movie as a practice. It's not anymore like, oh, I'm just randomly sitting around killing some time watching a movie, but it turns into a meditative practice, watching the movie. So you wait for the romantic scene to appear, and then you will notice there is a certain tendency now to look away, to feel ashamed, and so forth. Question is, can you allow that? Can you watch the scene and at the same time allow yourself to feel these emotions, these feelings? And just stay there with those feelings throughout the entire scene. Not pushing them out, not trying to do anything to them, just in a friendly way, just allowing for your human emotions to be there as they are. Not reacting to them in any way, not doing anything to them. And if you do this, if you kind of welcome the things that you don't like about yourself, and we all have those things, we all have things that we don't like about ourselves, if you allow them to be there in the light of your consciousness, in the light of your awareness, then they have a chance to dissolve. They have a chance to go. They are seen, so their job is fulfilled. You're not at war anymore with it. And that's kind of the message these patterns need. This kind of pattern needs just simply to know that when it arises, it is not met with resistance, but it is met with friendliness. Each time it comes up, friendliness receives it. And of course that requires a certain degree of consciousness or wakefulness. You want to know when these patterns arise. Otherwise, you cannot do anything about it. You cannot receive it. You would just react to it unconsciously. And you would fall into some sort of actions, like grabbing a beer or looking away or something like that. So that's in essence, that's it. Receiving your flaws, your presumed mistakes, within a friendly environment. Just allowing yourself to be yourself. That's something most people have a great hard time with, actually. Most people come to meditation because they want to change themselves. Feeling not good enough, not peaceful enough, not spiritual enough. Therefore I need to meditate some more so I can become more of this and more of that. Basically, this is just a statement of, I hate myself. And hopefully meditation will fix it. Then to counteract that, you want to invite these aspects of yourself that you're not liking actively and allow them to be there. They are part of your experience. They're part of your life experience, aren't they? They're undeniably there. You can suppress them as much as you want to. You can express them as much as you want to. It doesn't change the fact that these aspects, they are there and they want to be seen. You could also say they want to make friends with you. That's why they keep coming back. They always try to kind of make friends with you. Each time you're watching a romantic movie, this is the chance for your feeling of shame, to come and make friends with you, to get to know you a little bit better. So shame makes the first step, it comes up into your being, and now you do the second step. Hey shame, welcome. You can say the words actually, welcome. Now this is your moment. You can do whatever you need to do, and I'll watch you, like a little child. For them it's the most awesome thing if you're sitting down with them and you're watching them play. They love it. Similarly, for all your children internally, That means shame, guilt, worry, happiness, joy, all these kind of, they are aspects of yourself that are like your children. If you for one moment give up the role of governor, manager or boss, and be here as a kind father or mother for them, just allowing them to be and play. Allowing your shame to play, allowing your guilt to play, allowing your fear to be there. Some people have phobias, right? Then the way to deal with phobias would be to learn to allow yourself to freak out. You see a spider and then there's fear. Okay. It's okay to have fear. You see a dog and you're fearful, it's okay to have fear. That's the thing, isn't it? We approach our fear with the idea that no, it shouldn't be there. I should be totally relaxed and calm, fully above the situation. Maybe you have anger issues. You easily get angry and heat it up and judge other people easily. That is, again, it's another human trait, isn't it? It's not about getting rid of those things. Spiritual practice is not about cutting away aspects and parts of yourself, so you end up with a neat kind of blank piece of paper. The blank paper person. No emotions, no feelings, no thoughts. We imagine that somehow to be perfect, the enlightened state must be totally flat. But that's not the point of spiritual practice at all. It took me a long time to understand this. I was doctoring around on myself for a long time, pushing away aspects of myself. And of course, if you're pushing away something, it gives you counter-resistance. It'll come back. Where could I push it? Where could I push my own mind? It's always kind of around, isn't it? I can push away my anger as much as I want to, and I can deny myself. I can say, oh no, I'm not an angry person because I'm a meditation teacher. I'm not supposed to get angry. That is a mistake. It's about honesty, first of all, isn't it? The spiritual path is about honesty. So you're able to receive yourself with honesty. It is like this. Instead of, well, but it should be like that. But it is like this, anger, that there is confusion, there's frustration, all that human stuff. It's all there. So now what to do with it? Many people ask questions like this, how to get rid of my depression, how to get rid of my shame, how to get rid of my guilt. It's not about getting rid of this stuff. It's about awareness. Sure, the secondary effect of awareness is that those things can self-liberate. Because you're not holding on to them anymore. Once you're resting in a state of awareness, these kind of things, they're not an issue anymore. You're not minding them anymore. And there's shame, there's guilt. They are free to come and go. Since you are not in a state of resistance anymore, you're in an open state of awareness, these things can just pass through. They can dissolve by themselves. But they will stay as long as you are here with an agenda. That agenda for most people is, I need to become a better human being. What does that really say? It really says, I'm not good enough the way I am. And now who has taught you that? Where have you learned that the way you are is not good enough? And who forced you to believe this? Do you have to believe that you're not good enough? And some people, they overpaint their belief that they are not good enough with exaggerated kind of fancy self-images. With amazing Instagram filters that make your skin look absolutely flawless. And all that kind of stuff. We want to overpaint reality. Our whole society is pretty dishonest. If you go through a supermarket, it's all dishonest. It's a very small print. What's in the ingredients of the product are. You need to kind of bring in a magnifying glass to read properly what's in there. In the front it says 100% organic, big, with like a stamp. It looks very official. And you look on the back and it's like, there might be this and that. And it's all these kind of chemical names and you're like, what is this? I don't know it, so would I eat it? Would you eat benzopropylene butol? Would you eat that? Why put it on your skin? All these kind of things. It's in the front it looks like, wow, pure, organic, natural, 100%, and behind is like all this kind of stuff. And you see that is what's really in there. For some products, there's not even any description of what's in there. In Thailand, you find some products, there's just super whitening function. And then you don't even see what's in it. Not even in Thai. They don't write anything on it. It's just some mystical product. It's making your skin a bit more white. That's another manifestation, isn't it? You have brown skin, you need white skin. You need to put stuff on your skin to change that skin. Who taught you that? Why do you feel that you need white skin? But again, for all the tourists who come here, it's all about brown skin. They come with white skin like this, and there's like, I need to get brown and lie down in the sun for a long time. And it's always checking the tan, you know. So you get a brown skin, and it hasn't fixed anything really. We're still insecure, we're still not liking ourselves. How does it manifest? Maybe you think, no, I really like myself. How comfortable are you doing nothing for 30 minutes? This is honest. Now you can really see, do you like yourself or not? Just being in a room, no distraction, doing nothing, no phone, no magazine, no movies, no talking, just you, 4 walls around you, and a chair. 30 minutes pass, 1 hour passes. Just feeling good, comfortable. You can put it to the test. See, do you really like yourself? Are you your own best friends? We like to say these things, and also we like to believe those things. It's almost like that 100% organic sticker. I love myself. And deep down under that sticker, you have all these chemical ingredients of shame, guilt, and worry about how do I look? How am I received by other people? Am I liked? Why would you need to know if you really like yourself? So this is nothing to believe. I'm not giving you some sort of view that you need to accept. This is purely something for you to contemplate. Look at yourself. Are you happy? Generally. Or more critical, judgmental. All these are secondary evidence that you're not really comfortable. And it's not other people's fault. No one forces you to be uncomfortable. No one. No one forces you to feel the way you do. And so, by confronting our honest kind of humanness, how we are, that includes all the discomforts and comforts, and giving them space, allowing that to be there, not fighting and not trying to change other people, not trying to change the way we feel, not trying to change the movie. Just learn to be with it. And you will notice that there is a certain physical tension building up as well around these feelings. When we're feeling shame or something like this, in the case of Peter, you might be looking at the movie, and then as soon as the romantic scene starts, I bet there is some physical tension building. Very subtle maybe at first, but maybe your stomach becomes a bit more tight. Then the shoulders might lift a little bit. Maybe your forehead becomes a bit more tight and the jaws a little bit more tight. Notice that. So we are tackling this, welcoming the shame, by first of all relaxing the body, opening the body, receiving the emotion in the body. It's a very physical thing. Relaxing, dropping tension. It's almost like finding some space around the shame, around the feeling of shame. First of all, locate it. Where do you feel the shame in your body? Where is the location of it? I'm always saying shame. I have to check again. Is it shame? Was it? Let's fast forward this. How can I get more comfortable with intimacy? That's a very good question, isn't it? How can I get more comfortable with it? It doesn't say how can I get rid of this trouble. But how can I become more comfortable with it? So I'm looking for distraction. He says, okay, I have a lot of trouble with intimacy. Okay, trouble with intimacy. So when that trouble feeling comes up, where do you feel it? Many people feel it in the chest, some in the belly, some in the throat. These are popular spots where we feel uncomfortable usually. Now, just like you can feel space around your body, you can feel space around an emotion. Can you sense that there is space around your body right now? You usually can if you're not thinking about it. You just feel it. There's space, sensing space around the body. In a similar way, when there's an emotion coming up, you can feel like a soft space around it. Maybe even inside of it a little bit. Just learning to give it some space, or become a bit more comfortable with it. Allowing it to be around there. Expanding around it. Like that. This is first of all a physical thing. We need to let go of physical constriction. So this kind of physical contraction that happens around an emotion. You all might have observed this. I don't know, for those of you who are already a little bit more familiar with mindfulness practice, you might have noticed that when emotions arise in the body, that usually the body contracts around the emotion. There's real physical tension that's built. That's what you want to release first. Then, as a second point, is try to smile. Smile a little bit at your emotions. Smile a little bit at the shame. Even if you do not feel really like, or your smile might feel a little bit like fake or something like this, it's fine in the beginning. It's like an unusual thing, isn't it? It's a new kind of concept. Smiling at something that you previously didn't like. Just imagine yourself as a very kind, warm-hearted, open, happy person. It helps. Just imagine that you would be such a person. You visualize it. You take the goal into the path. I'm a very warm-hearted being, and I'm totally able to receive my trouble with intimacy with a smile. And just feel yourself into that. Just being very friendly to it. Giving it space, allowing it to hang around. Whereas how long it might take for it, it's your time now. You can be here for as long as you need to be here. I'll just watch. And then you repeat that with many movies, different movies. Maybe at first you watch those movies alone, it's a bit easier. Then watch them with your spouse. Maybe it's a bit harder when the intimate scene comes up. There is someone else in the room, so usually we have our guard up. We're not fully ourselves as we were when we were alone. And then maybe as kind of the last step, why not watch it with a few friends together or with people you don't know in a well-lit room, so where you can be fully seen going through your feelings. Because that's what makes us uncomfortable, it's other people seeing us. It is awareness of other people that these feelings actually, in a way, you can say they fear that a little bit. They fear to be seen. That's why we need to be friendly to them, receiving them in a friendly space. So they learn, like, wow, okay, Peter is not a threat. He's a kind guy. I don't have to fight him. I don't have to attack him. So that is it, again and again. And then, of course, consistency is key. You want to do this as many times as it takes for you to notice progress. With a playful attitude, always playfully, light-hearted. If you take anything in life seriously, you're already weighed down by it. Whatever we pick up, or we take it very seriously, it weighs us down. It becomes a burden onto the heart. It makes us heavy. Oh God, this is very serious. And that's also, by the way, this is the cause why people fight with each other. They're taking thoughts too seriously. How could you vote for Trump? He's such an idiot. And then we take that very seriously and we respond. How could you not vote for him? He's awesome. He's going to change everything. And whatever other kind of head topics that are going on in our heads. And then we fight about this because we take it so seriously. And then why would we take something like that so seriously? Because we take ourselves so seriously. I'm an adult. And I'm very serious. I'm a meditation teacher. And you better respect me. Because I'm a hardcore meditator. I can sit for hours. This is so ridiculous. It's such a role play. And if I take myself serious like that, I will suffer it. I will suffer the meditation teacher. That's what it means to take things seriously. You are suffering it. You can take it with a light heart, and very often it's those people who can take it with a light heart that come up with great solutions. It doesn't mean you're denying the problems. You say, no, there is no problem, everything is great. That's not what it means to not take things seriously. You can see a problem as a problem, but you're not weighed down by it. You're not suffering the problem. You have all the energy left for a good solution. So in a way, it's very clever. And why let other people control your emotions and moods? After all, why? It's the point. By what they say, what they talk about. And it's your own mood that changes as a result. Why? Taking it so seriously. Taking ourselves so seriously. How can you say that? This is totally stupid. What am I doing here? Why do this to yourself? You don't have to. Wow, what's going on in this movie? The romantic scene again. Oh God, oh no. It's very serious again. That's why it works. Play with it. The romantic scene is coming up, and then there will be a reaction to it, and let's have some fun with it. That will help a lot. A light-hearted, nice attitude. Good. So I think that's pretty much all for it now. It's all about consistency, playing with that actual problem that you have, allowing it to come into a kind, friendly space, relaxing physically at all these points. If you feel you haven't understood properly, then you can listen to that talk again and again. Anyways, upload it online all the time every week. Okay, so I think it's good enough for today.